All right, now this game is probably the game that I'm most interested in watching, as in a curiosity point of view, because Tulane, their head coach, is going to Florida, and he's currently doing coaching things at Florida, talking to players, interviewing players. We just saw DJ Lagway hit the portal. Obviously, they're not a great fit, so obviously, the head coaches have had to talk to him. But he's keeping the recruits around, still doing his own recruiting for Florida while trying to coach his playoff game. And then on the flip side, we all know the Ole Miss situation, man. Lane Kiffin leaves in for LSU. Um, everybody kind of follows Lane, but at the same time, Lane's like, no, y'all can coach in this game, and help these boys win. So they got their offense coordinator, the defense coordinator,
Who is the head coach now?
who is this also the head coach now. So obviously he wants to get off to a great start. And that would be crazy, right? If they win this game, that
That's the
the
thing. They're
DC
going to be.
the DC gets a playoff win before Lane Kiffin.
That's the thing too. Like they're favored to win this game. Like they should win this game. They handled them early on in the year,
At,
so it's
at
like
home already, you know?
yeah. So it's like, and this is a big opportunity for the fan base of Ole Miss, which is like as bad as the situation was, I am happy that this did happen for them to host a playoff game because their fans can kind of clear their minds. They got
Especially
a
if
lot
they
to play
win.
for. They got a team that is very capable of beating. That can kind of springboard them going forward. I also thought was interesting. They had just hired LSU's interim coach onto their staff.
Yes.
Did you see that? So I'm
As the
like,
running back coach.
yeah. So I'm like, bro, what are we doing? Apparently, that dude is like elite at recruiting. Like he's like kids go to LSU for him. He's like he locks down the state. So maybe that'll be big for Ole Miss. But I just think it's funny how they're going back and forth. But enough with that, man. Going into the game, man. LSU or not LSU, Ole Miss, Tulane playing another Louisiana school. Yes.
Is it true that what's his name might not play this game? Chambliss?
I didn't see that. I think he's gonna play. I know he's
I
trying
read
to
it
get
somewhere, but I don't know
another.
how true it was. They said they're going to
I
talk
don't
to
know
his
if
agent.
I know he's
But
trying to
in
get
my head, I'm just
another.
like, why would you not play a playoff game?
He needs to play. I mean,
Yeah.
looking at they posted. Shout out to Todd McShay and Mitch, but they posted a graph on their show today or this week showing the amount of snaps that each player has had in college that is going to be in the playoff game. Carson Beck was like number one with the most snaps, and then Chambliss literally has like 760 snaps in college. Well, not in college, but at this level. So clearly, like he doesn't have a lot of experience. Obviously, he's played a lot of football, but I mean, that you're not sitting out. Nobody sits out of playoff games. I don't care how big your draft stock is. Nobody sits out of playoff games. Like Texas has been in the playoffs multiple years. Y'all didn't have anybody that was going to get drafted sit out of a playoff game. We're not going to have anybody sit out of a playoff game. Like you just don't do that. It doesn't look good. One, and these are money games. Like they're saying, if you ball out in the playoffs, like I mean, look at Will Howard, right? Like he hasn't played much yet in the NFL, but I mean, he balled out in the playoff, won a national title, and then gets drafted in like the third or fourth round when he probably would have got drafted in like the sixth round, just from having a good playoff performance. So yeah, man, with Chambliss and them, I'm curious to see what the offense looks like. I think they could struggle only because Lane Kiffin, at the end of the day, is going to be the in-game adjustments. He's going to be calling the plays in-game. He's going to be making the decisions in-game. So he can actually, if the team is struggling, like, be able to fix it and have solutions immediately in the game. Will Charlie Weiss be able to do this? Possibly, because he is a previous OC as well, but you just never know. It's just kind of interesting. Like, it's a conflict of interest. So you got Charlie Weiss, who went to LSU. You also got the DC, who stayed back for the Ole Miss kids. So it's like, are you going to have any butting of heads? How's that been with the preparation? There's been so many moving parts around. And obviously, you can say the same thing with Tulane and Summerall, but that makes a lot more sense. Summerall left Tulane to go up to a SEC job from a P4.
And not only that, he's given $100,000 of his own money for the NIL for
and
kids
he's
to still
staying
go
to,
there.
and he's staying to coach. It's not frowned upon, right? Ole Miss.
Well, Lane Kiffin
LSU
wanted to stay the coach, but
yeah,
Ole Miss wasn't allowing that because LSU said, "Yeah, you can coach,"
yeah.
but
And technically, and Ole Miss had to do that. They got to put their foot down in that kind of situation because you can't allow that when you're interconference. And not only that is your interconference, they are literally rivals. So, but I think
but
you
like
just
he's
can't.
the reason you're there. But like
I get it.
but he's going to LSU. But like he's still coaching for you. He's still, if y'all were to win, it's still Ole Miss's national championship. It's not LSU's national championship.
Yeah, but they're gonna still poach players. They're gonna still be players, the recruiters, like all that.
That's
stuff.
gonna happen regardless if they go or not. Like that's just the name of the game, you know. I mean, look at Cam Coleman, look at Jaden Ball, look at DJ Lagway. I mean, look, everybody, you know, that's just the name of the game. That's the sport that we're in now. So
100%.
even if you go or not, like players are still gonna be poached. If that wasn't the case, there wouldn't be an extended portal for these kids that make the playoffs. Simple as that.
True. But yeah, I mean, you can't give them that. You know, they had to put their foot down, and they did. But now you're going into these games, and with Chambliss, like we've already talked about him making a lot of money. We've already talked about him probably getting drafted. The question is he going to stay and be able to come back next year? And if he does, is he going to LSU? Because like all these quarterbacks entering the portal, and they keep talking about LSU, and they're like they're going to get this guy, and this guy, but it's like clearly Lane Kiffin hasn't, taken any. The portal hasn't officially opened, so we'll see. But like, yeah, there's just all kind of moving parts here. I would love for Ole Miss to win this game. I think it'd be cool for them and their program. They have never done this. Tulane, right? Good season, make the playoffs. Your coach is leaving. Will they make adjustments from the last game, or will they just be outmatched? Does Lane Kiffin leaving kind of even that playing field? Like, even though this is a G5 team, does Lane Kiffin leaving affect the game that much to where Tulane can kind of get closer to them and make it competitive? Because when they first played, it was not close at all. So that's kind of and it's like, and did Tulane get that much better throughout the season to be able to play against Ole Miss in a competitive environment in the SEC in their first playoff game ever as a program, and they're hosting, and they lost their coach, so they're going to be fired up and they're going to want to prove a point and all this and this. So,
let me see something here. I mean, they struggled in their bowl game against North Texas, and I know North Texas isn't a slouch by any means, but at the end of the day, they're still a group of five to me, so they are a slouch. I mean, they got ran by South Florida 63-36.
Who?
North Texas.
Okay.
And then they lost to Tulane, so they didn't play.
Yeah, but Tulane's only losses are to who? Duke and Ole Miss?
They didn't play a Power 4 team. Yeah, they didn't play a Power 4 team. And then Tulane's only losses are
I think it's Duke and Ole Miss.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, no.
No, they beat Duke.
Ole Miss and UTSA.
Yeah, the UTSA loss really hurts them because, like, the Duke win is a great win for them. That's AC champion.
Yeah, they beat the AC champion. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah. Well, I mean, listen, this is
they lost 45-10 against Ole Miss.
This is a game where the G5 has to come with it. They have to. I think, like, if there's a chance, this is the one.
Yeah.
Like in this playoff field, right? And I think they have to, like, they don't even need to win the game. They just need to make. It just needs to be close, competitive, and show that okay, they can hang in the game. They can play this team tough. Like, yes, there's these variables, but at the end of the day, like, if they go in there and
this is a game that can't be the blowout.
Yeah, if they go in there and lose by 7, we're gonna be like, all right, that's a good game. They lost by 1 possession. If we could sit through this game physically and watch it all the way through and be like entertained and be like, and feel like Tulane has a chance to win the game and they just don't, great. But if they go in there and they get slaughtered, I don't know if James Madison will be able to hang with Oregon because we know Dan Lanning, and we'll get into that. But like,
poor guys, huh?
Yeah, it's just this has got to be the one, and they got to make a statement for the G5, and it sucks for JMU and for Tulane to have that burden because they got to do it. And listen, the G5 earns their way into the playoff, great. If they don't, great. But the auto bid stuff, like, they're clearly going to change it. Like, I know, like, we're doing like these like single individual episodes. We're kind of giving you guys news in between them, like as stuff is relevant to whatever we're talking about. But for example, the SEC moved to a 9-game schedule. I think the ACC is doing it too. The Big Ten allegedly already does it.
Yeah.
Well, ACC's isn't even the true
No, yeah. There's some
Yeah.
teams that have 8. There's some teams that have 9. Like,
yeah.
what is that about?
Like, what are we doing? So, but we're moving to this 9-game schedule in the SEC. Like for me and Carlos's teams, that is literally guaranteed 8 more losses in the conference for any team, like added on, like another loss, right? So there's gonna clearly be good ass SEC teams that are 8-4 and 9-3 that probably should be in the playoffs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's already 2, you know. So that tells me with these schedules, I don't think Greg Sankey would agree to something like that without the playoff either expanding or way more automatic bids for the SEC. I think it's expanding to 16, and I think the SEC is probably getting at least at minimum 4 auto bids, right? So with that being said, if that's all coming into play, there's really going to be no room at the table for the G5 with the auto bid stuff. Like I think they're going to probably get to a point to where, hey, it's the 16 best teams, and that's going to include primarily the P4. And if there is a G5 team that like actually is good, they finish ranked in the top 16, okay, you can come into the playoff. But none of this Tulane where they're 22, JMU where they're 23, 24, getting into the playoff. So yeah, I mean the spread 17.5.
It moved up and opened at 16.5.
The keys to victory for Ole Miss is just do not beat yourself. Simple as that. I mean, play good football. Just do what you've been doing all year. And the keys to victory for Tulane, listen, you got to get stops. You got to get turnovers because Ole Miss tempo team, they like to go fast. And you got to have ball control. You got to be able to – I think Retzlaff needs 20 rushing attempts this game or something. He needs to run the football.
Well, that's the thing, dude. It's like you can't even – like you want to put a talking point of, clock control or like controlling the ball, but – we've seen Ole Miss's offense. They can score like against a defense like this. They can score at will. They can score at 30 seconds. Like even if you could control the ball, like they're still going to score.
That's true.
And that's true. And not even only that. That's you controlling the ball and scoring. So you have to do both of those. Not only you have to score the ball, but you have to score. I mean, you have to control the ball and you have to score. And you can't always score field goals. You have to score a touchdown somewhere in there. And I just don't know if that offense is suited enough to do it. I know that Ole Miss isn't the best defense, but I would say it's good enough for this game to hold them under
It's definitely good enough against this type of team. You're not playing...
No, I'm saying it's good enough for this defense to hold them under 14 points.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, and this team isn't... They're good offensively, but like they're not. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they scare Ole Miss by any means. Like Ole Miss would have to.
And they already beat them, so they're gonna have the confidence.
Yeah, and they'd have to, and they just know they're better, right? When you just go on the field and you just know you're like, you can't obviously take a team lightly, but I mean, it's different. I'm pretty sure
Tulane's defense is pretty bad as well.
It's not great,
so they're gonna light up the field on you again.
Yeah. So, and listen, it's a playoff game, bro. Like they're not gonna take their foot off the gas because they know they got to play another team next week. Like they're gonna do everything they can to take care of business and move on to the next playoff game, and that's gonna be running the score up. That's gonna be taking shots. Like it's the playoffs, bro. Like like you're trying to win. So yeah, that's really all I got for this. I mean, I don't really have too much else.
This plays Georgia, so even if Tulane does win somehow, some way,
that would be insane.
I mean, hey, look, it's a home game either way for these teams. Ole Miss is right.
Hey, Ole Miss, don't be the first team to lose to a G5.
That would be an Ole Miss thing.
And you lost your coach, boy. They would. LSU fans would have y'all in hell.
Oh, absolutely. Oh the round 2 is at the Sugar Bowl, so
nice, good location for Ole Miss.
All three of them.
Yeah,
Georgia,
all three
Ole
of
Miss,
them.
and Tulane.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
So I my final prediction is probably gonna be the same as the first game.
I mean, I hope Ole Miss takes care of business because the Ole Miss Georgia game, obviously, no Lane Kiffin. That was a good game. The first that matchup early in the year. So
Yeah.
that'd be another rematch. If these guys take care of business. So
I'm gonna go like 45-10 again, somewhere around there.
damn. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Because look, one, they're trying to prove a point. Like Ole Miss is trying to prove a point to Lane Kiffin and to the rest of football, saying, "Look, we don't need Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin, we don't need you." So they're trying to prove a point. For one, for two, watching that North Texas game, man, and in some other games, I'm just not confident in them. I'm not confident in Retzlaff. To be able to go down there and do it, man. I'm not. And when I see, Trinidad Chambliss throwing for 300 yards, running for another 100, you have Lacey running for 100, and you have the receivers catching for hundreds. Like I just like, and I see your defense get lit up week in and week out. Like there's nothing. I just got a blowout, man. I 45-10, 35-10. Somewhere around there. I got it at 28 plus.
So you like that Ole Miss spread, huh? I'm on Novig right now looking at it. Yeah. It's plus 103 right now.
17 and a half?
Yeah.
They know something I don't, man. Somebody must be opting out.
So yeah, man, I agree with you. My score, I think Tulane kind of gets some garbage touchdowns later. I think it'll be like more of like a 17,
like a backdoor cover, a piss me off.
No, I don't think they'll backdoor cover. I think it'll be like 17 to like 42 or 45. Like I think they take care of business.
Blowout.
They still get blown out, but I think Tulane gets closer to 20. Like, I can see Tulane losing by 20 points, being at like 45-20, 45-25, something like that. So.
Yeah.
I don't see Tulane scoring over. I can see them scoring 3 touchdowns max. I don't see them scoring anything over that. And if they do,
I don't.
The only way they win, because they're not going to keep. I'm saying they're not going to keep pace with Ole Miss. So the only way they win is literally in a low-scoring game where they score 3 touchdowns. Low scoring for Ole Miss is like them, like under 30 points probably in this type of matchup. So. If Tulane could get it to where they have 21 and Ole Miss is like anywhere from like 20 to 30, you got to feel great about that as Tulane.
I mean,
and I feel like that's how they win the game in general, but because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop Ole Miss.
Their lowest score is 24 points.
Like making Ole Miss kick field goals is a good winning formula, like we did. Like they're going to get their points. They have a good offense. Like you got to make them kick field goals, and you got to get stops in the red zone. And you can't let them score on like quick explosives. So, yeah.
I don't have much keys to victory for y'all, Tulane. I do apologize. I just can't see y'all winning this game, man. It's sip all day, man. They come to
the sip, man.
And they have something to prove, and they're gonna prove it. But any last things?
No. I've been on Prize Picks. I'm trying to get a couple like plays in for you guys.
Harrison
real
Wallace
quick,
over yards.
Trinidad Chambliss over 272.5 passing yards. He gonna go crazy. I mean, I think he's had like 6 straight games throwing over 300.
Yeah,
it's a playoff game. He might have 200 in the first half. You know what I'm saying?
He might.
So yeah, I like that. Throw that on there. I think he's gonna ball out. We'll see though. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we'll catch y'all guys on the next one.